we'll go ahead and hold. You know, those are usually like our bigger local stuff that we don't really get a whole lot of people out for even still. So that's why it's like we're trying to get into more stuff. But anyways, getting back to this, Paradigm, holy crap, I have not seen Paradigm in forever.
I was going to ask if you knew who he was.
I do, yes. I actually, the first tournament.
The oldest of old school players.
Wasn't the first tournament, because that was a Dublin tournament, but the second tournament I went to ever in Columbus was at the Donato's on High Street.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
On campus, and sure enough, I got to play Paradigm. Super nice guy. I love him. He was always very, very nice to me.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
But I don't remember a whole lot about his playstyle because it's been a few years. So
you know what's funny is my first tournament ever, I also played Paradigm at that same Donato's on High Street in Columbus, Ohio. So yeah, Paradigm's been around a long time, just about as long as Dreffen is my understanding. He's got a very, very old school playstyle, and that'll show. I mean, we saw him at like not this past year because we didn't have a shuffle, but the shuffle like Battle of the Midwest, if you remember. He played against Worth, who was an up-and-coming Falco main at the time, and I think he ended up winning the set. But a lot of his play was a bit outdated. He shows up to locals maybe once a month, once every like month and a half, 2 months. So he's still keeping up a little bit, and I'm interested to see just how well he can do against 2Framez.
And actually, this is kind of nice. Like I mean, granted, I don't know exactly how much. That's the Gibbs right there.
That is the Gibbs. Shout outs to Gibbs.
I use that
now. You see that?
No.
Carson stole the bomb.
And then went back up to up. That's so good.
Followed him all the way back. That was clean.
But even still, like Paradigm's actually doing really well, especially considering Carson is not a player to slouch for at all. And on top of that, look at the stage selection that we got. We got FD, Pikachu, Samus. Do you think, as someone that does dabble in Samus a little bit, do you think that your first choice of a stage would be FD versus Pikachu?
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think I've ever played this matchup outside of a casual setting, so it's hard for me to really commentate. I can't decide if I like platforms more than I like Pikachu not having platforms. I feel like it would be pretty even. I feel like most Samus players would say, yeah, that matchup is weird, it's probably even. Oh, nice shot, Parrot.
Okay. I can definitely see where you're coming from. I would think that this still favors Pikachu, though.
Why would you say that?
Reason being is just he's got so much more space to run and move around, and the neutral is just so much more in his favor in that case.
Barely misspaces that grab. The one thing I would think about is that you do have much better control of the stage in terms of your projectiles.
Yeah.
Pikachu either has to shield or deal with your missiles now, whereas Pikachu might be able to escape to platforms on other stages.
That is true. I will say that.
What's up? Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and hop off, and you can hold it down. Thanks, everybody, for having me on the mic. I will see you guys later.
Okay. And then when Zets comes back, I will go ahead and hop off, and then I will play my match, and then we'll hopefully come back here. But I think right now we're going to have Papa join us here at the mid-match. Okay. Let's see. If he can get by. If he can get by. All right, cool. So not to disrupt the match. But anyways, Carson seems to be holding it down a little bit better now. He starts to establish more of a lead. So maybe he just had to get used to the Paradigm Samus at first. Papa, how you doing, man?
Good. How about you, man?
Doing good. Glad to see Paradigm out from underneath his rock.
Yeah, dude.
Always a pleasure.
Do you know him from back in the day?
From back in the day, yeah. It was my second Columbus tournament I got to play him. I was just telling Zets.
Nice.
Super
He
cool.
is no slouch.
No, definitely no slouch. Especially, too, considering that Carson's no slouch of his own.
Yeah.
He started off the match, actually, with a rather dominant lead, and now it's looking like pretty even. Carson did have a little bit of a lead. It does seem to be closing up between the two of them now, so I think they're both getting a better feel for each other. Not sure how much experience either one has with the other character, considering there's no Pikachus really in Columbus, and there's really no Samuses in Neo.
Yeah.
So.
Ooh, barely gets out of there.
I like that bomb because it kind of like shrunk her up a little bit. You know, maybe to dodge that thunder.
This is looking rough for Paradigm now. He's on the defensive big time.
He is, but he could definitely close it out.
Ooh. Dash attack there would have connected, but it might have been unsafe on hit. I'm not sure.
And this is going back to what I was actually talking about with Zets too. It's like, would you think that like Samus would choose FD as her first pick?
That's why I was confused. It felt like this wasn't a game one. Like oh, that's it.
That's
it.
Yeah.
He still had his tether, so he could have air dodged. I don't know why he.
He definitely could have made it back. He would have probably had to have bombed and then just dropped after the bomb to go lower so he doesn't get hit by the jolt. And then he could have grappled onto the stage and then just come up normally. But then Pikachu could have grabbed the edge, and that would have set that up too. So it's definitely a little bit of a conundrum there. But either way, going into game 2, Carson, a.k.a. 2Framez, up 1 game. Let's see where we go. I would think Fountain Dreams. This is the Choice Samus stage.
Do you need me? All right, Demps, you're on your own for now.
I'm on my own. All right.
Yeah, I think you can do it.
All right, I'm gonna have to. Every commentator that comes in here just runs away from me. You know, perfectly fine, completely understandable. So there is definitely too many cooks in the kitchen right now. That is for sure. Here in the stream room anyways. Back to the match though real quick. So yeah, this is where I would have expected a Samus to try to go like game 1 or, you know what I mean, not FD. Fizzle, how do you feel about, I have Fizzle Boy on the mic for those who are watching us at home, by the way. Fizzle, how do you feel about Samus going to FD game 1 versus Pikachu?
I don't feel too bad about it, because Samus usually has trouble coming down, but Pikachu isn't really that good at juggling characters.
Okay.
So it kind of makes sense, but it feels more like Paradigm using an old school counter pick that doesn't really hold up that much today.
Okay.
So I don't think it's good either.
Okay. And it's not necessarily that I'm swayed on like FD is just a bad pick for Samus. I just want to see like what your opinion is. I got Papa's opinion. I got Zetz's opinion. Definitely just a strange game 1 choice, I think. But either way, game 2, these two were pretty evenly matched game 1. There was a little bit of a lead at first from Paradigm. Carson closed it out. He got a lead of his own. And then it just ended up being very, very close to the last stock. But Carson ended up gathering a lead, kept Paradigm out. He wasn't able to get in. Little bit of an issue recovering to that last stock. But now we're seeing a little bit of the same thing here in game 2. Both players, even stocks. Paradigm with a little bit of percent on him, but again, he's got Carson dispositioned. So he's just got to find like these hits, and there we go. That's how you start it.
2Framez is just like getting confused. Like Paradigm's one of the easiest players in the game to underestimate. Just like a lot of old schoolers where what he's doing doesn't look like it should be that good, but it's based on like years and years of trial and error. And even though it's kind of kooky, if you're not ready for it, it's really hard to catch on to and to beat.
Exactly. All right, well, I'm actually getting called off to go play my match, so Fizzle, you're going to be holding it down now.
All right, I'll see you in Grands.
All right. we'll see about that. We'll see.
All right, so what we want to look out for is Paradigm's trademark move, where he will just slowly walk past you while you're in shield and forward smash the other direction. Now, a lot of people, especially Mars, will do it with a dash where they'll run past you and turn around and smash. And that's really, really tricky. But the walk is so slow that you just get in your own head. And it's not even like the other player that tricks you. You trick yourself when you get hit by that one.
What's up, Fizzle?
Oh, hey, XYK.
Hopping on to help you out a little bit here while we keep playing the musical chairs with the casters.
Yeah,
man.
Game within a game.
I saw your name pop up in bracket, but I didn't see you here. I'm glad you were able to make it in time, man.
Oh, yes, I'm eating Steak and Shake outside.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Ooh. Yeah, Paradigm is just mad tricky.
It's really cool because I'm not too familiar with the Neo scene yet, while being still relatively like on my verge back into melee and whatnot. I really only know the Columbus guys, like outside of for the Ohio like section is what I'm saying. So I don't really know like Dublin area and all that stuff yet.
And that's good because 2Framez and Holiday, they don't really get a huge chance to shine at a lot of events where most of Ohio's top 10 come, but they're like really good, they're strong players in Neo.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I saw Small Hands earlier, and he was doing really good.
Oh, I've got to play him next.
Oh yeah. He only lost 1 stock in his first set.
Ooh,
he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh, Paradigm with his first lead of the match.
Yeah, and that was a really big percent difference between them, but even it right back up. Last stock situation.
And it's really important, I think, for 2Framez to get a lead here, because historically he's been notorious for losing sets because he goes on tilt. And
really?
Yeah, definitely. He's a big rager.
Huh. I would have never guessed that.
And then weird, like, janky play, like Paradigm's little trickiness. It's so hard to, like, keep yourself from getting frustrated when it's working against you and you can't understand why. So I think he's doing a really good job, but we'll see. That's going to be the test, if he can just hold it together for the rest of this match.
Oh, boy. And he's just looking for a stray F smash right here as far as just kind of wave dash fast. It's going to be a big punish, though. Not quite enough to take off the top, though.
Yeah. Just very safe neutral by 2Framez. No way he meant to do that.
No, he definitely did. He was doing it earlier as well.
Oh, that's impressive. Not a lot of Pikachus, I imagine, know the Samus matchup.
Ooh, just barely able to get to that legend time. Oh, this is terrifying. Oh, what's he going to do off of that? Gets the reverse in air. Oh, barely misses that F smash. Getting another opportunity here.
That was off an input flip, too.
Oh, really? That might be enough. Not quite. Wow.
Barely dodging it.
This is insanely close.
Yeah, it feels like 2Framez is playing a solid game, but he keeps getting hit. I think it's just small input mistakes.
Oh my goodness, that's gonna be.
No, it's not
over.
over.
I can't say it. Oh,
Too eager.
oh, that's it.
Oh my gosh.
Look at him. He's so relieved.
Yeah, it should be. That was really good play.
Paradigm taking game 2.
And he just got a little bit antsy there, too.
Yeah.
Like, that was definitely really good neutral by 2Framez, even to the end of the match. I mean, sometimes you just get got.
Yup. And just like that, we're going into game 3 now, which is looking to be on Battlefield, which is still a pretty decent Samus stage from my memory. Just as it becomes a little bit of a smaller stage in terms of, like, Pikachu's going to get a lot more kills.
I agree. I don't understand why this is the stage he's choosing. I know Paradigm really likes missile spam, as a lot of Samus do on the stadium platforms. So I could understand not picking that one.
Right. So for these players, though, we have to make sure if you're 2Framez, I saw that. If you're 2Framez, you have to make sure that that last match doesn't mess up your game plan for this one, because a lot of times you can be so close in a match like previous and just barely lose it when you feel like you could have won it, and that can like really throw off your game.
Yeah, he's definitely getting caught a little too eager here. But the real thing that we've got to watch for, every time 2Framez is going to ledge, and that was the first time Paradigm tried to cover it, I think he's going to have a lot more trouble getting on the stage now that Paradigm's aware. And yeah, you're seeing it too.
Yeah.
He's just getting caught going in just too quickly.
Oh, great spot dodge to there, too. So Paradigm taking first blood here in game 3.
Yeah. You think, because 2Framez is the more polished player or currently, that the more games they play, the more it would favor the person with a cleaner game. But it feels like Paradigm's just getting in his head.
Ooh. Let's see what we can do in this edge guard situation.
Yikes.
Oh! Reversed!
That was the extended up box.
Yeah. That was nuts.
Disgusting.
Oh. See, I feel like 2Framez is getting too anxious now. Like, he knows he needs to play a little bit of catch up, and he's just kind of running in.
Yeah, this is exactly what we were afraid of. Well, we're Paradigm fans a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
So we were hoping.
So 2Framez is going to go ahead and take that first stock off of Paradigm.
He's just got to hold this momentum. He cannot afford to take many more hits.
Yeah. Where would you have gone if you were 2Framez instead of Battlefield? Just curious, going back to that comment.
Considering how this game is going, Yoshi's. Neutral is not going my way.
Yeah.
Get me in some edge guards.
Oh, no. Oh, and
and
that's
there
it.
Is. You hate to see that.
Yep. So Paradigm will go ahead and move on.